In this world, it's not just black and white. There's not just two types of people. There's several personalities out there. One of them I'm going to be talking about is caregivers, but not the caregivers of just the elderly. I mean, the people who are just natural caregiving people. You know, the ones that have that built-in nurture, that caring and loving feeling. And then we have the other people who are in a way forced or feel like they have to step up to take care of a loved one because it was probably placed upon them. Now, would those people who are made to be a caregiver at a young age, do you think when they get older that they would carry that nurture with them? Or do you think they would grow to resent it? This case that I'm going to be talking about today is the case of one of the most prolific murders in British history. Hello, my name is Amadi, and here with me is my partner,
The Grin.
And welcome to our channel, a podcast where we don't shy away from gruesome details, where some things may be triggering and hard to hear. So get yourself in the right frame of mind, and let's talk about dark shit.
All right, let's do it.
Our case starts off on March 30th, 1896. A fisherman sees and pulls out a carpetbag from the river Thames in Reading, England. Inside was a decomposed body of a baby girl. Her name was Helena Fry. She was wrapped in linen, newspaper, and in a brown paper bag. There was white tape wrapped around her neck and with a knot around her left ear. When the police arrive, they notice a faded name written on a package, Miss Thomas, and they see an address. Detective Constable Anderson and Sergeant James of Reading Borough Police placed her house under surveillance in thoughts that she would flee if she knew what they were doing. So what the officers did is that they sent a woman as a decoy to ask Amelia about her services and arrange a meeting. When Amelia opened the door, she was expecting to meet her new client, but she was surprised with Constable Anderson and Sergeant James. When they arrived at her address, or when they raided her place, they found way more than they were expecting. Now I'm going to start going back to March 1837 in Pyle Marsh near Bristol, England. We have parents, Samuel and Sarah Hobley, who give birth to Amelia Elizabeth. She, I think, was the youngest born out of 5 siblings. Samuel was a hard-working shoemaker, and Sarah was a stay-at-home mother. During these times of the 1800s, we get into the Victorian era where the average family has around 5 to 6 children, and the literacy rate was about 60% of men and 40% women. In Amelia's childhood, there was some traumatic events that happened. Her older sister, who was 6 at the time, passed away, and then one of her other younger sisters had passed away. The hows of how they passed away, it was unclear, didn't say. But then Amelia's mother ended up getting typhus. Typhus, according to the CDC, is a group of diseases caused by bacteria that are spread to humans by fleas, lice, and chiggers. I don't know what chiggers are, and I was afraid to look it up because it sounds horrible.
Yeah, that sounds like it would give me the ick.
In the Britannica, it would also go by other names as camp fever, jail fever, and war fever, names that suggest overcrowding. Because of her mother becoming ill, it was given to the responsibility of Amelia to take care of her, since she was the youngest. It was said that her mother would get into these violent fits and rages and sometimes hit her kids. That's a lot for a little tiny one to deal, especially under the age of 11. In 1859, when Amelia was 11, that's when her mother ended up passing away. I don't know if either her father couldn't afford to take care of her or they had a falling out, but Samuel sent Amelia to go live with her aunt. Her aunt ran a corset shop, and Amelia went there to be her apprentice. She ended up doing this for many years. In 1859, Samuel, her father, ended up passing away, and then all the other siblings just went their own way. Amelia did stay with her aunt a few more years, but then around 1861, Amelia moves to Bristol, where she meets 59-year-old George Thomas. George was a widower who already has his own kids and a nice paying job. Either Amelia really saw an interest in him, really liked him, or she saw him as someone who is able to take care of her. But they end up getting together and they get married. And because of their age difference, she was 18 at the time, he was 59, It was said that they both lied on their wedding certificate to not make it look weird. They added 6 years to her and subtracted 11 years from him.
Dang.
I know.
But it wasn't illegal, right? At the time?
No, it's not illegal. They just didn't want it to look weird, I guess, on paper.
Oh, okay. Like you could tell that he's
You'd
old
be able to
and
tell.
she's young.
Yeah, somebody who's 18, somebody who's 59, you could tell the difference.
Yeah.
It's not wrong, but I'm just saying, like, you could tell the difference.
Huh.
Soon after getting married, Amelia went to become a nurse. And some say she started working in a mental ward, and she was working very long hours. Then Amelia and George get pregnant, and they have their first child, who they named Ellen. By this time, Amelia would end up meeting, it's coincidence with the name, but she ends up meeting a midwife who is named Ellen Dane. They apparently became close because Ellen would be the one to introduce Amelia to baby farming.
What is baby farming?
So baby farming is described as the practice of taking custody of unwanted children or those whose parents were unable to take care of them. Back then, it was not the obligation of the father to take care or support the baby when born out of wedlock. So because of this, a lot of mothers would be in search of these baby farms since it was hard for them to provide for another child or simply that they didn't want the child. These women would foster the baby for as low as 5 pounds, or if they would come to adopt the babies, it would go up as high as 80 pounds. In today's standards, 80 pounds is considered 12,190 and 42 cents. I don't know if that's really, I don't think it's called cents, but pounds. Or in American money, USD, that's considered $15,244.01.
Is what they would get paid if they adopted?
If they straight adopted.
So that's like a one-time given thing, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ellen Dane showed Amelia that this was an easier and more profitable way to make a living by using your own home as a haven for women giving birth out of wedlock. Then she would farm the babies off for adoption. And if the child was too much of a hassle, if she couldn't get rid of them, she would get rid of them. This did intrigue Amelia, but only for a little bit, because she was content for the time being of what she had. You know, she had a little happy family until 1869 when George passed away. Now she had nobody to help her, and she also has a little one. So Amelia, remembering about baby farming, decided to dip her hands into it, especially since things were getting too close for comfort for Ellen Dane. She ended up moving to the States because the police were getting a little suspicious of her. So with this, Amelia basically just ended up taking over.
Was she actually offing off those kids that she didn't want?
Ellen Dane?
Yeah.
That I'm not sure of. Or maybe she could have gave her an idea.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. So Amelia would put out ads in the newspaper that she was looking to foster or adopt a baby. And it did help that she was a married nurse to convince women to leave their kids with her, even though they didn't know that she was, her husband passed away. She first started what was said with taking weekly payments, but this wasn't enough for her. It was said that she started to let babies just starve to death and then move on to the next one. She was doing this until 1872, where she met a brewer laborer named William Dyer. William was only 6 years older than Amelia, and at that time she was 34 years old. They end up having 2 kids. They have a daughter named Mary Ann, who went by the name of Polly in 1873, and son William Samuel Dyer, born 1876. But after giving birth to her babies, Amelia continued with letting pregnant mothers live with her until they would give birth or farm the babies. Her daughter, Polly, would remember women living there every so often as a child, but all of this, this timeline is a little unclear because I don't think anybody really knows the actual timeline of when she started doing things. But after a while of Amelia and her baby farming, she would go to a physician every so often to let them know that a baby had died and, for them to write the death certificates for the babies. A physician started to get suspicious of what she was doing or of what was happening, of why there were so many deaths. And because of this, he went to the police. And Amelia was arrested for gross misconduct. and she served 6 months of labor.
For the suspicion of her actually offing off children.
Yes. I'm not sure if maybe they didn't know exactly what she was doing, or maybe they probably saw it as that she wasn't taking care of babies properly.
Dang, but even then, 6 months?
Hard labor, okay?
Oh, hard, okay.
Hard labor.
Okay, but you're...
So after these 6 months of labor and returning home, Amelia would try to stay clean and not get back into her line of work, but she still needed money. So eventually she got back into the baby farming. But since she didn't want to go back to jail and do the hard labor, she decided to be a bit more discreet of what she was doing. Instead of letting a physician know about the baby's passing, she started to either bury the baby's bodies or throwing them in the river Thames. And to speed up her process of getting more babies, if she wasn't starving them or strangling them with white tape, she would use this laudanum-based product named Godfrey's cordial, which is a tincture of opium, water, and treacle. I don't know what that was. It's a British version of molasses. So Godfrey's cordial was used because it would help babies with colic, hiccups, coughs, or when the mothers would just want the babies to be quiet. And also for the mothers who had jobs who didn't get paid that much and needed to return back to work. Another name for this product was Mother's Friend.
Mother's Friend.
Yes, it sounds so much horrible because of so many baby deaths. Mother's Friend.
Oh.
It's horrible.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. It was also said that Amelia was on or taking laudanum, and she started drinking after her little 6-month labor. And also, it's addicting.
Wait, Mother's Friend is addicting?
Yes. Laudanum, it's like opium.
Oh.
She would put these ads out in the paper with different names to not raise any suspicion. For example, she wrote, highly respectable married couple wish to adopt child. Premium required, very small. She would go by names of Miss Thomas, Miss Harding. She would also answer ads for women looking for someone to look after their child so they could return to work. Amelia had this going on for years and years, up until the beginning of the case of March 30th, 1896. So when the police looked inside of her house, they found an enormous amount of baby clothes, letters of negotiating adoptions, and receipts for ads sent to the newspapers. After her arrest, the police decided to look in the Thames River, and they end up finding 6 more babies' bodies.
Just floating around?
Well, no, not floating,
Oh.
but they what do they call it when they, oh my God, what's it called when they actually, not dig, but
Like tie them?
search the river.
Okay.
There's a term for it, but I cannot think of the term right now. So one of the cases that she did get indicted for was for the willful murder of Doris Marmon, daughter of Evelyn Edith Marmon. Evelyn was a barmaid and she needed to get back to work, so she answered an ad for a couple wanting a baby. They exchanged messages for a few days, and at that time, Amelia went by the name of Miss Harding. She seemed to be a nice woman, just wanting to have a baby in the house, to love and to give everything to, according to Evelyn in the Old Bailey trial. The handing over of Doris happened at the end of the month of March, and by April 7th, Evelyn received a call from the police constable, and on April 11th, she was in Reading with the police to identify the body of her 10-week-old Doris. She knew it was her because they also found a cardboard box that still had her clothes and diapers that she placed in it. Since Amelia did a lot of moving around because she didn't want to get caught, the police went to one of her old houses in Fish Pond, where she only lived there for like 12 months, and the owners discovered 5 babies buried in the garden, ranging from the ages of 1 to 5 years old.
Damn.
In another place that she lived, they said that she only spent 9 months living there. It was in Caversham. But Reading police found evidence that she had cared for at least 15 babies at her home during this time. 15 babies in 9 months.
15 babies in 9 months. Did she off all those 15 babies? Damn.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes.
Skis.
In an article from the BBC.com, there was a parcel that Detective Constable Anderson found at the Clappers Pond. They took the parcel straight to the mortuary, and it was confirmed that it was a corpse of a little female child about 12 months old. And they said it was in much more of an advanced state of decomposition than any of the other bodies discovered. So much so that when the parcel was opened, the body and the head fell to pieces.
So that little corpse was out there for a while.
Yeah.
Damn.
At her trial at the Old Bailey on May 22nd, 1896, she did try to go for the insanity plea because
she's a coward.
She's like, oh yeah. Throughout all those years, she did go to an insane asylum like 3 different times.
Was she actually insane?
See, that I don't know. And the prosecutors and judge and a lot of other people believe that because when she was a nurse and she worked in an insane asylum, that she probably knows how to act. She knows how to act like them. And every time that she went to an asylum, it was coincidentally around the same times where things were getting hot and people were getting suspicious.
Cowardice.
Her daughter, Polly, at the trial did recall that her mother did threaten her, that she would go crazy sometimes and did threaten her to kill her. And she also tried to end her own life as well.
So maybe there was something there.
She was also on
she was addicted to
whatever.
Mother's helper or whatever.
Mother's friend.
Mother's friend.
And she was alcoholic, they say. And so that could give you so many effects, you know?
Yeah. She's just an addict.
Yeah. She was an addict. It came to be suspected that Amelia, since she was doing this for over 20 years, with the receipts and all the baby clothes found, that there was an estimated body count of 400.
Damn.
That's what they're estimating that she did. 400 baby bodies. And at the trial, it only took the jury 4.5 minutes to find her guilty.
And what was her sentence?
On June 10th, 1896, she was hung.
You know what? I don't feel bad for her.
No.
No remorse.
No. 400
babies.
Yes. I never even heard of this case.
I've never even heard of baby farming.
No, I never. Well, you know what? I did hear of the butterbox babies, which I believe was something similar.
I remember hearing about that, but that was a long time ago. I would need to refresh myself on that one.
Yeah, me too. But I know that when I saw this case, I forgot how I even found this case, but this case reminded me of the butterbox babies. She didn't use things to poison them or anything like that. I think she let women or young girls who were pregnant stay there, and they would give up the baby for adoption right then and there. And instead of adopting, she would just kill them. And I think bury them in butter boxes.
Yes, I believe so.
I think that's what that one was. I know there's more to it. That just sounds so like, here it is.
Let us know. We might do an episode on that one. Dedicate an episode.
But yeah, I've never heard of this one. And this one had 400 babies, and I never heard of this one. I don't know why it's...
I've never heard of this one either. I've never heard of the term baby farming, mother's help, or mother's friend.
That is such a horrible nickname for it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It is. Just because, well, some of the mothers, because they needed to get back to work, because, they didn't get paid much, would give their babies that so they can go back to work. So they give the babies that just so the babies can go to sleep. So they're not awake while they go to work.
Oh my God.
That's so sad.
Like, especially like if you're like in a place where you need the money and it's just you and your baby. That's pretty bad.
It is. And I think that's why mothers or some mothers would look for these people doing the baby farming, because they couldn't support another child or another mouth because they didn't get paid enough.
That's pretty, I don't know.
It's sad. It's hard and sad.
It is.
I know a lot of these, I guess, evidence are held in the Thames police station. They have like a little museum, and part of it that they have her in there.
So they have a part of their museum dedicated to this?
Yes.
Wow. So it's that infamous over there.
I guess over there, yeah.
Because I've never heard of it. Let us know if you guys have heard of this one, because I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it. Mother's friend. That term just sounds like something you'd remember if you ever heard it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mother's friend.
Mother's friend and 400 babies. Like, I don't know.
Baby farming. Yeah, that would stick with you.
Yeah. So I don't know why this, maybe because it was across the pond or things to say it.
Perhaps. See, this is why I always look into cases outside, because you come across really sick but interesting ones like this.
I feel bad saying that they're interesting. They're horrible.
They are pretty horrible, but I don't know. Just knowing that there's somebody who's capable of something like this, killing 400 babies.
Yeah. And like your thing when you were introducing yourself in the beginning, back then, especially this is 1800s, the courts and people saw this as like, this is strange. This is weird. She's a mother. Mothers are supposed to be caring and, nurturing and everything.
Yes.
Same thing that you said.
Yeah.
And everybody's in shock that a woman was doing this. And after this, I think there was even, I'm pretty sure there was about, so that I saw, there was like 3 other cases of mothers doing this to other little kids.
Yeah.
They would do the whole baby farming.
It's shocking because you wouldn't think that a female, let alone a female who has kids, would be capable of something like that.
Yeah. She had 3 kids.
Yeah.
She never did anything to them.
See, it's pretty shocking. It was extremely shocking to me when I was first introduced to the world of true crime.
I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a girl, I didn't see it as shocking. I'm like, yeah, sounds right.
There are bitches out there.
Yep. I believe it.
Wow, yeah. Honestly, yeah. Did they think it was a male behind the crimes?
No, actually, I never saw anything about them actually finding all these babies and thinking something's going on. I never seen anything or a little article written about that.
Well, it happened so long ago.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just shocking to the people. But yeah, that's honestly, yeah, you're right. One of the things why I'm interested more in
women,
in the female monsters than the male ones. Because the male ones, kind of like you said, for some reason, the male ones, I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, they're assholes. They're monsters. But when it comes to like a female who's a mom who's caring to her kids and then goes out to take 400 innocent lives,
just people,
just kind of shocking.
People in general are just monsters.
Now, yes, I've come to a point where yes, you're right. People are just sick.
Yeah, it's not just one gender; it's everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean everybody. Doesn't matter on age either, because there are even children killers.
Oh, absolutely. The other day I was having this conversation with my brother because he was shocked when I was bringing up Mary Bell.
He never heard of Mary Bell?
He has never heard of Mary Bell.
That one was another case over there.
Yeah, which let us know. We can do Mary Bell if you guys have never heard of Mary Bell.
She was considered, I think, one of Britain's youngest serial killers.
Like today, I think she's still Britain's youngest serial killer. She's still? She was 12. She was 12 when she committed her first crime.
Yeah, that is young. Why do I feel like there was a younger one? Oh, no, I'm thinking of that boy.
There's the boy in India who was 7.
Yes. He was 7?
He was 7 when he killed the baby girl.
His cousin, right?
Yeah.
He was 7?
He was 7.
Holy crap. That is so little. That's a 2nd grader.
Yeah. And he didn't stop there. He went on to kill another baby.
That makes me...
Yeah. So Amadi is definitely right. It doesn't matter age or gender or anything. There are truly twisted hearts out there. Which, I don't know, the whole kids thing is another thing where, like, that question is raised where is evil...
Nurture or nature?
Yes. Is evil born or made?
I think there are a lot of cases out there that could be...
Either or, right?
Yeah.
That's scary. That's another one that's scary.
Because I think I remember you talking about one of a girl who lived in, I want to say it was South Africa. She was a rich little pretty girl, had everything. And then when she was like an older teenager, I think, her and her boyfriend ended up murdering her parents.
No, that one's Brazil.
Oh, it was Brazil?
Brazil. Oh, she is a beach.
But she grew up everything perfect, everything handed to her, right?
Everything perfect.
See?
Like, grew up with a silver spoon in her mouth, and
that's one of those cases where I'm just, is it nurture or nature? Because that one, she had everything given to her, but yet...
She was a brat, and then when her parents disapproved and told her no, she plotted with her boyfriend on how to off her parents, and she did. That one makes me sick because she went to prison, got out, and then moved on with her life like nothing happened.
She's out?
She is out. Do you guys want me to talk about that case? Let me know, and I will gladly talk about it. Yeah, it's bad.
I started gagging. Bad. That one, it's one thing about me. When I get angry, I start gagging. Okay, that one pisses me off. She's out.
Yes, that one, and I don't know if you've heard of this other one. Now we're just talking about kids. The 12-year-old who dated the werewolf in Canada.
Wasn't he a vampire?
From what I remember, he was a werewolf who carried around a vial of blood around his neck.
Wouldn't that make him a vampire then?
You would think so, but the thing said werewolf.
Really? I don't...
The article that I read said werewolf. I don't know.
I think I remember that one, but I didn't know that she was 12. I thought she was 14.
No, she was 12. Well, I think she was 12 when she met him. Maybe she was 13 when she killed.
And supposedly she was part of some satanic group or a cult or something, she ended up saying.
Because he introduced her to that or something like that.
Baloney.
She was a crazy bitch too. That one was sick because he offed her parents and then...
Oh, he did it.
He did it, but then she was like, why leave my little brother alive? He would be suffering, so let's off him too. And then she offed her little brother.
Fucking psycho bitch.
Yeah, that one was pretty sad.
Serious?
That one was pretty sad. She's like, why would we leave him alive when his parents are gone?
Oh my God, just people. People are monsters. Oh my God. That's why I like that one Spencer shirt I've seen before. It says, ew, people.
If one day we ever create merch, that sounds like the kind of area. The kind of phrase that we would put on our shirts.
Well, that was my story of the baby farmer, Amelia Elizabeth Dyer.
Yikes.
Let us know what you thought, what you think. You can even just write on there that she's a bitch.
Those comments are welcome.
She is. And with that being said, I hope everybody stays well.
Stay safe.
And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.